Hello, Future Cassie here. I realized I didn't actually make a little intro for this vlog. Whoops. In the future, I'll probably try to be more organized, but until then, this is what we've got. So this is my February vlog, and it just includes like a random assortment of stuff I did this month, from getting my tires replaced, to reading books, to going shopping for supplies for my shop, and I don't know, stuff like that. I hope it's not super boring. I probably could have split part of it into a separate reading vlog, but honestly, your girl just does not have the spoons for that, so it is what it is. I hope you like it. Hope you have fun watching it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Yeah. I did remember to film an outro, so I will see you at the end of this, and it will be a different me than the me you're seeing now, because this current me is from the future, and the stuff you're about to see is from the past, and then the outro is from the past. Well, confused myself and got all wibbly wobbly, so yeah, here we go with February. Hi, hello. So it's been a little bit since I checked in. We have a couple of errands to run today, and then I'm probably going to be reading a little bit tonight, but I just wanted to pop in, say hi, and also maybe tell you, because I'm probably going to get footage while I'm out, that I am going to the craft store to get some supplies for my Etsy. I sell DIY embroidery kits, so if you ever want to do a craft, but I need to get some embroidery floss to put into the kits, so I've got to go pick some of that up, and then I also have to stop at the bank and just do like a quick little money transfer. So very exciting day, a lot of exciting errands. I've just got so much going on. Yeah. Oh, I do actually have to go to the library as well, so I will stop at the library and bring you with me. I don't really like recording in there because it's pretty quiet and small. It's like a very small branch, and so I really just go in and get my books from the pickup shelf, and that's it. So I probably won't share that, but I'll be going there and you'll be coming with me in spirit. Thank you for that. I love the moral support. It's great. like obnoxiously bright outside. We're just gonna have to make do with this. I'm doing like a separate little vlog about my romance books, but I realized I wasn't really keeping track with videos of the stuff that I was reading besides that, so I figured I would just check in about those things. Okay, so first, I finished this finally. I started this last month and it was supposed to be one of my January reads, but for some reason I just got distracted and never finished it. So finally, A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. I am so glad I finally read this. I loved it. It was so good. I thought this was like a bad mom story, and I don't want to say anything that's too spoilery, but I will say that it's like generational. Like, I knew there was going to be like some kind of family trauma or drama or something in this, but I did not know where it was going to go, and it was wild. Like, this was so good and so much fun. I think saying that it's fun seems a little misleading because it was very spooky. There were a lot of creepy things in it, but everything I read by T. Kingfisher is just so much fun. Like, no matter what the genre is, it's just so fun every time. So I'm gonna buy everything that they write ever. I love it. Okay, so next I read Annie Man by Amber Tamblyn, who, she's really good and I really like her. This is the second thing by her that I've read because there's a cat outside. I don't know if you can see him, but that's Jack, the neighborhood cat. I just named him Jack, so like if he's walking on the fence behind, I'm like, hit the road, Jack, and yeah. I did name all of the neighborhood cats, of which there are many. We're not gonna get into that. What's really cute though is that my boyfriend has learned all the names that I've given them, and so like when he sees them, he's like, oh, I saw Church outside, or oh, I saw Jack down the street. This one actually wasn't on my TBR for the month, but it was at the library, and so I just picked it up. Amber Tamblyn is actually an actress, so she's been in a bunch of things, but the thing that I remember her the most is Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I just love it. She has a poetry collection called Dark Sparkler, I think, and I read that a few years ago, and I really liked it. This, I wasn't sure if it would be poetry or like just a normal book when I picked it up. I was just excited because I saw it was pink, and I've been wanting to read pink books this month because of Valentine's Day, and I saw her name. So this one is really good, but I will advise you to definitely look into like any content warnings that you might need, because it's got a lot of really, really difficult stuff to read, especially from the perspective of somebody who is a survivor of any kind of, you know, abuse. I don't know what I can say on YouTube, so I don't want to say something that makes my videos go away. If you've dealt with abuse, you'll probably want to check into the content warnings for this, just because it's pretty hard. There are like a handful of men in this. There's not like one central character. There are like 4 or 5. Well, and then there's a character that's like the bad person, who's doing bad things to these men, and they're each dealing with it in different ways, but this mostly also focuses on how society treats them, how the police treat them when they're questioned, how podcasts talk about them, how people online tweet about them. It's really, really, really hard to read if you have any kind of negative history, especially with coming forward about something and having people not believe you or treat you poorly because of it. I had to stop reading it once actually because it was like a little bit difficult, but it's pretty good. It's really good. It says a lot of important things about us as a society and how victims of things are treated. So I do think it's a very important book. There are a couple of things I do just want to mention though. One of them is that in the section where there are a bunch of like tweets by people, there are like real celebrities there. And I don't know if those are, I mean, obviously they're not real tweets because they apply to like the story and this is fictional, but I don't know if they were just rephrasing of actual tweets from some of these people, because like there are like actual celebrities, and some of the things that the author decided to make them say in those tweets were very on point for who the people were, but also I feel like it doesn't paint them in the best light. So I wonder if they got into any sort of trouble with that, or if that was awkward, if they saw people at like award shows or something later. And then one more thing that I will mention it's really minor, but I felt it was very ballsy of Amber Tamblyn to do. There's a section where one of the victims' parents, I think the mother of one of them, they're talking about like which comedians she likes best, or like, you know, funny people to listen to. And Amber Tamblyn mentions David Cross, who is her husband in real life, like and he's a comedian and he's funny. I'm not saying, you know, I've laughed, but it just seemed like a really funny choice to include it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, that was just ballsy. Like, props to her for not only dedicating it to her man, but including him in the book in some way. I'm not even sure how to really categorize this because it's not, I wouldn't say it's a thriller, maybe mystery. I don't know. It doesn't fit into any specific genre that I feel like. It's not like anything else I've read. It's very different. There are very horrifying parts. There are some messed up parts, and there are parts that are honestly pretty creepy. So this could feel a little like horror adjacent, maybe. I don't know. I do recommend it. I think I gave it like 3.5 to 4 stars, and that was just because there are a few parts that it's told in like a different way, like in poetry and stuff, and those parts, despite liking Dark Sparkler, those parts didn't super work for me. But all the parts that were written really did, and there was some really, really beautiful stuff, even in just the part that was normally narrated, like written regularly. I could have said that better, but I hope you know what I mean. Okay, next. So I've read the first volume of The Promised Neverland so far, and probably before the end of the month I'm going to read the other volumes that I have. But this was wild. Like, I wasn't exactly sure what this was going to be going into it. I knew it was sort of like horror-y. So I was going into it expecting to be like kind of creeped out, but the twist or whatever, I didn't expect that, and I was like, oh no, like. So I'm definitely excited to keep reading this. I, again, have heard, I think I've mentioned this, but I've heard that the show's not very good, like the anime, so I'm probably not going to watch that, but I'm definitely going to read more. And I think I could probably include this in the romance vlog, but I'm just going to put it here because I don't think I had it on the list for that. I don't know. But I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I read this. It's a really thick, like chunky boy. It's like 400 and something pages, because I don't know if this came out like in smaller versions before, or if it was only ever released as a big thing. I don't know that much about it, sorry. If you're coming here for facts and information, I don't got it. This made me cry. Like, this was so unexpected. I thought I knew what this was gonna be. The back tells you something and you think you know, and then you don't know. I promise you do not know. I didn't know. It stunned me. Like, when okay, there's something that happens in this, I'm not gonna say it, but when it happened in real life, I went, oh my god. Like, I like yelled, and my boyfriend was like, what's going on? What happened? It's such a big twist. And then the rest of it, like, that happens pretty, like, not early on, but like, then you have the rest of the book where you're just like reeling still, but also now reeling from like other stuff. And I think there's like a really good message about how people are constantly looking to other people for how they want to be and like what they envy, and they don't really think about the fact that those people are also looking back at them or at somebody else, you know? Like, very few people are just sitting around being completely satisfied with who they are and with themselves. So I'm glad I'm covering this here because I don't think I would even really qualify this as a romance, or maybe, I don't know. I think there's a specific rule for things to qualify as romance, and if I'm right about that, this is not that. Because, yeah, this made me cry, like, a lot. Like, it was a tough time. So I will say, if you're gonna read this, go into it with tissues, because it messed me up. A bittersweet romance? Come now. No. Bittersweet, maybe. I mean, what? It could have been sweeter is what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, so that's what I've read in the last couple days outside of the rest of what I'm going to post, so we're all caught up. Hey, okay, so you probably don't know this, but this is like the first day that I've filmed in over a week, and that is because I got very sick. And I thought I was getting better, and I got a little bit better, and I filmed the end of like my reading vlog for my romance books, and then I got sick again, like super sick. So it's been up and down, but today I'm doing better. My nose is a little bit congested, but I have some stuff to do and I'm not contagious, it's not COVID, so I figure I'm going to do it. Also, this is your reminder that if you have water, you should drink it, and if you do not have water, you should find some and then drink it. So for today, I have a bunch of Patreon work to do. It's probably going to take like 6 or 7 hours total. I'm not going to make you sit through all of that, but I thought maybe I'd bring you along to see a couple of the things that I do and the stuff that I'm making. If you're interested ever, I don't mean to be annoying, but you can sign up to my Patreon. I have regular tiers that get early access to all my stuff, and including these videos. I also have tiers for physical reward stuff, so if you like art prints and stickers, I mail those out every month, and they coincide with a theme that I make for the month, and then I design stuff to that theme. So yeah. I also really like organizing, so one of the perks of my Patreon is getting a bunch of Notion templates because I just like making them. I use Notion to organize basically everything that I do, like my YouTube, my Patreon, my shop, my life, all of it. Like this is not sponsored. I have a baby channel and it's not good enough to be sponsored by anybody yet. I'm telling you, Notion has saved my life. Like, I have ADHD and I really like organizing things, but even when I have like a planner and stuff, I kind of forget to use it, or I'll remember to use it and think, oh, I'm gonna do that later. I'll have like a nice little moment of planner time, and then I don't do it. So having Notion, I can track basically everything, and I do track basically everything. I have a dream journal. I track basic health stats every day, how much sleep I got, how much work I did, everything, like you name it, I'm tracking it. So I sometimes share those trackers with my patrons. And the one that I'm going to be working on is a movie and TV watch list tracker. And this will just be a way to catalog like your movies and the stuff that you're watching, like series and things like that. I'm kind of in the middle of a bunch of different things all the time, so it's really useful for me, and hopefully it'll be useful for somebody else. Whoops, that fell. Can I get through a video without dropping my phone? Oh, it would be great if I could. No, 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 no. So I'm also going to be drawing a bit, and I thought I would share some of that as well. And then later I am going to a storage place because we're supposed to be getting a storage, and we want to check it out first just to make sure everything's okay. So we got a little code sent to me like through text, and we just have to drive there and then use the code to get in, and then we can look around. And if it's like in a decent area and like looks okay, then we're gonna be getting that. And yeah, so have fun watching these clips and have fun hanging out with me for the day, or I guess over the next couple days, because I don't necessarily know that I'm gonna finish all of this today. Yeah. It looks like a creepy like murder room or something, right? So I have a bunch of packing and stuff to do, but I figured I'd do like an official end to this vlog. That's been February. It was pretty busy, even though it didn't really look like it. I feel like I was constantly doing stuff, except for when I was sick, and that sucked a lot because it's pretty much the first time I've been sick in, I honestly don't even know, like the last time I've been like sick, like that kind of sick. I've been other kinds of sick, but not that kind of sick to where like I was taking COVID tests repeatedly because I was just like all the symptoms match what's going on. My boyfriend didn't get sick. To be fair, he did have like a little bit of a tickle and a small cough like a few days before I did, and he didn't go to work that day just because, but then by the next day he was fine, so we thought it was just allergies. So imagine my surprise when I spent like a week suffering. Not good. I'm probably going to be filming my wrap-up for February soon, and maybe my March TBR. I am moving out at the end of March, so that month is probably going to be a little hectic, and it's probably just going to involve a lot of packing. So yeah, we're gonna see. April, however, is going to look very different because, well, I'll get into that later, I guess. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me for February, and I hope you liked my first official little monthly vlog. That's really it. Yeah. Did I say my name this time? I'm Cassie. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye.